would give me some more time. Well, game warden. That's my little sister doing that. Or something. But I found out I had a bunch of leeches on me or something. And my dad, my mom, you know. They're over DOT units in the state, I found out. There was a lot of marine boats and different things. I believe it's because this large hotel casino movement. They put stickers on other boats, but that would be probably Nancy and Evie. Probably, you know, I'm picking up on Snoop Dogg and Demi Moore, you know, train Carl Gibson Drive, you know. All these people want to put a bag in a train cart and claim all these CDs, but they can't really do that. They were stealing our mail down here, I found out.
Okay. And have you been to court yet for this charge?
Yeah, they release it. What is, I just figure out what to do with it. I believe what is, I just get rid of the boat. I found out my parents are DOT'd at the bumps. Then I found out.
Okay.
And they sold a lot of garage money. And this cassette guy, he's in Walmart. He's from Wilmington, and they filmed Janet and all them selling the money, which would be my parents, you know, life savings, you know, for them to pay on the for like repairs or, you know, the statement to pay on that. And my sisters are still around. Flag's been flying in MacDill, and they told them to take the amount off because we don't owe that. And I believe what it is, they just let a bunch of new people in on Ed, on his statement, and they're just putting any children's board on it. And then I found out children's board was on MacDill. My sister opened up a box. It was supposed to be for Georgia, and my parents were supposed to go there maybe to do like a, you know, TV interview and all this. And then I found out my sister was wearing the jean shorts, and it's unbelievable, you know. She wasn't supposed to open the box because it wasn't in her name. And then I found out it had diamonds and jeans, a bunch of Marine Corps and dinghies in there. And I just thought that was, she just thinks if she can push for TV, and she's on Amaze and push for TV, maybe do a CD, she can keep all that stuff.
Okay.
And
when was your last court date? Do you remember when it was, what the date was?
The 30th of last month.
Normally, sometimes I just let stuff go out.
We've been there several times.
Okay.
Yeah,
And every time they kept putting it off, and offering this and offering
what
that.
is, they closed the courtroom one day and showed my 5-year-old optical picture. So look, she's been my patient. I'm gonna pay everybody off. I had Ed and Rosie and Teresa had like sheriff uniforms, and everybody's been trying to get them or something. I don't know, but we were paid for basically, and they did too steal a lot of money out of the garage and gross that on Dale Mabry. And they opened the machines up. We had Lincoln and Benjamin been there.
When is your next court date?
I don't have one.
Okay.
They said that's fine. We understand that, you know, you lost your parents, and
I think it's also the end of this month again.
in flight, they told them to take off the money off the statement because she's taking a lot of radio, and that they are lying with Children's Board, and Children's Boards are lying with Janet and my mother.
If you are found guilty of this boat thing, what possible penalties would you be facing? What would happen to you if they find guilty?
Well, this is what the game warden said. They'd give me up to 90 days. That's what it is. And either I just let it go, or I could take it into Hard Rock or something. Dickler, I believe it's because my sisters are doing that. My sisters are trying to collect everything. But the oldest one, you know.
Do you have a public defender or a private attorney?
It is a public defender.
Yeah, she released, she said it's just about the boat and it's a large casino movement. And, we just don't wanna do this no more. They closed the courtroom and paid all the sheriffs and showed my 5-year-old optical picture. And, they were, getting a lot of people out of the courtroom. And we said, Trace been my 5-year-old optical patient, we don't want nobody to bother her no more. Is what she stated.
Okay, how does your public defender, how does she help you? What's her job or what's her role? How would she help you?
She just, basically it's about the boat, that was it, and she said, thanks and bye, you know. The courtroom got paid off, they got some money bags down there, different things for my dad's people. My parents had lasers. I believe it's because of Wellington and Hard Rock and Alabama coach. He was sitting down there on Apollo Beach, or he was.
Do you know what the state attorney does?
Well, I guess they can either fine you or different things. I think it's just groceries, what it is. It's media, TV in the courtroom, and groceries, what I believe.
Okay.
It's a hustle, believe me. 5 states, Holly Berry and Coleman, Louise. It's a hustle with my sisters. Oprah and Trump and all them. I believe that's why my dad got it.
Okay. How about the judge? Do you know what the judge does in the courtroom?
Well, I'm sure, he could put you on, I believe. He could put you on the maze, and or if you have something that he likes, you could give it to him, and then, they slide from the TV set right there to Hard Rock. That's what it is.
Okay. And whose side is the judge on? The defendant's side or the state side?
Evidently it's on my side, and they had a different one in there. Said, we know what they're doing. Her sisters are sitting in the courtroom over there a different way. So they're just, so it's Elvis clothing and all that stuff, especially doing the interview. Security guy's pushing it. He's,
Okay. How about the jury? What does the jury do in the courtroom?
Sometimes they can get paid off, or they just, maybe they just look at you and decide different things.
And whose side are they on?
Mine, evidently. The courtroom was closed for the day and paid off. Yeah. So, be part of my parents' lasers we had.
Do you know what a trial is?
Where you sit there and either you can either be fined or different things. I guess the game orange, I didn't know some of this, but they have different colors too. That's what it was. It was my sisters in the game warning. They act like the oldest one, Bob and all them. They're dental. They're playing a Violence Louise dental game, I believe. They act like they keep on giving away my parents' assets to Ellen. And I keep on getting this Ellen over there in the trail, like she's a denture freezer, and she wants in Hard Rock, and I guess she has a machine or something. But that's what the problem is.
That's a new one. Who's Ellen?
Obama, Condoleezza, and Ellen. That's what the problem is. Yeah, I want the machines and playing a game. Accused my dad of something 55 years ago, and that's what it is.
Okay. Do you know what witnesses are?
Yeah, if they see something, they can snitch you out, I guess, and be paid off too or something. But I believe it's because, well, it's a large movement. I had one of those NFL coins, big bags and everything, and the glowing coins the coach put in there. He was really irate that Lehman and all them stole his cooler. And he said, I put my NFL insignia in the cooler, and I just can't believe they took it inside their duplex next door and opened it up. They said, he said I had it for Teresa, but then she didn't get it, so what we did, I got UNC in Wilmington. He said he can get a pilot to whip his ass there. In other words, he said.
Do you know what evidence is?
Yeah, the coach has got evidence. Then. And he said he's getting tired of these cheap people. He was thinking about buying the whole park out where Rosie's at, and I don't know. My sisters took a money bag back to him. You know, it's just things like that. What is it, sitting on the mesa courtroom a different way? The key of different things.
Who determines somebody's sentence? What somebody's sentence? Who determines that?
I think it's just grocery, really. It's just a lot of groceries, or if you know about certain things, you know, maybe you can't.
Okay. Do you know what the difference is between a misdemeanor and a felony?
Well, it's probably just something maybe you was thrown out. You know, maybe like you lit or something. That would be like I think your misdemeanor. You know, something small. We've been on hold. Flights keeps on telling them take the money off the statement because we don't owe that. I would believe garbage could sue them. You know, we've been good customers the whole time here.
Do you know what you're being charged with? A misdemeanor or a felony with the boat?
He says it's just a dickler, or maybe I would just move it. You know, where he just wants to see it floating out there, or you know, the stickers and all that. I believe it's a hustle with some women from Ocala to Apollo Beach or down south. They think they can build up boats and act like it's a wedding gift, something really not. What the boat is, I found out, it's, my trust was threatened with that boat with Janet Sellers and Sam is what I found out. And, to open a Hard Rock. We've been threatened, you know, for our house money for that boat's what I found out.
Do you know what probation is?
Yeah. More or less.
Okay, and can you describe it to me?
That's where maybe you do errands or something, or fines and different things. But we've been fined too much in that trailer, and like I said, fed the yard over there, and they sold a lot of money, so that would be too much of a fine for that place.
What should you do if you're in court and you don't agree with something that somebody is saying? What should you do?
I would just ignore it, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, just let them talk. That would be it.
Do you know how someone is able to plead, or what the different types of plead options are?
Well, the game warden gave me 3 more months. That would be it. He thought I'd just put it back in the First Marine or something. That would be it. Or maybe it's been a clipboard with my oldest sister for Hard Rock.
If you want to know the truth about the boat story, I'll tell you it's a very short story.
I think it's just all these greedy people, and I think the bottom line is Trump know from me, and they're putting them on the maze so they can kill and hurt people. That's what I think it boils down to, and they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
How should somebody act in court? Like when you go to court, how should you act?
Just act normal, I would think. It is TV. You know, you have people like Matlock in there, or you know, different detective shows. You know, they do courtroom scenes. LP and all them, you know, they do. The courtroom's been paid off. So this is my 5-year-old little patient, and don't touch her no more. And we're not gonna pay you no more for now. We don't have no more for now. And I thought she was gonna meet me at Hard Rock, but her sister stole the bag arrow then.
What does, if somebody pleads guilty, what does that mean?
It means you're guilty, and then it would be resolved.
And how about not guilty?
Means you would be clear and just be free or something, or maybe they'd keep you in mind for something, you know. Downtown has sheriff uniforms, and they did. They have for sheriff uniforms in Rosie and me. And they still have a clipboard on it, and I think Dan DeVita and all them, you know.
Do you know what, sorry.
T3, you know, they're still in this state, and just different things.
Do you know what a plea bargain is?
Maybe something less, you do a favor, I think. They said that we don't have no more money to pay the courtrooms off now, because I think they gave that one $10,000 or something, said we just cut off for the day, and the others got thousands over there, but we don't have that money right now. They're just playing a game on Hard Rock and the courtroom. Closed the courtroom, they were paid off, said no more.
Do you wanna tell me, and you wanted to tell me something, sir?
Oh, the boat story? Okay. She lives on the end of a private drive on the Alafai River. In the end, there's one house here which is hers, one house here which is the original. The road was named after the Amoses.
Okay.
That's the Amoses' daughter.
Okay.
They used to live in California. They moved over a couple of years ago. It's been nothing but harassing her because they want to buy the property back from her, and the boat's on the water on our property. It's not floating out there in the middle of nowhere. There's at least a dozen boats floating in the water there. Half of them are sunk.
Yeah.
The guy's, her husband is an ex-Coast Guard. He calls his people, and he calls the game warden, come and write her a ticket because the boat is in the backyard and it's not moving. So he called the boat derelict, and he said it's abandonment. How can it be abandonment when it's sitting in her own backyard? She was sitting on the back of the boat fishing when the guy came over and wrote her a ticket.
I think it's just Evie and Janet and
So how can you tell me that's abandoned?
Right.
You know, I mean, really?
You know,
It's abandoned if it's in the middle of the ocean somewhere sunk. But it's sitting in the backyard, literally.
They sold all of our repair money.
But they have these little ins and outs in the little laws, you know, and they go, oh yeah, well, you abandoning the boat. Well, you know, that's where the ticket originated. And it's a pattern, by the way, if you check it out. They called animal control because she's got more than one cat in the yard. They called, what's the name of these people? Where they come and tell you what to do about your property, pretty much.
Yeah, but they told her not to do that.
They told her she's got to cut the grass. She's got, well, the grass, her machine broke, so she couldn't cut the grass for a couple of weeks until I got her something to do that. They called control. What do you call? I forgot what do you call it. I don't deal with these kind of people.
It's for like the city.
Yeah. Yeah, city. Yeah, have the city come out. And they told her, oh, she's got to mow the yard. Well, there's also 2 huge doors to a big shed where you can park like a big boat or a big motorhome, which Mr. Amos originally, her dad bought the place from Mr. Amos. The doors are falling apart due to so much water from the last couple of hurricanes. I applied for her for assistance. The house is to hers, and her 3 other sisters, Janet, Nancy, and
Well,
Eva.
they can get in the machines.
But she's the only one that lives in the house because they live in, Evie lives up in Ocala, Nancy lives in Mississippi, Janet lives in Alabama. They have nothing to do with it. They don't want much to do with it. But the will from her dad was to all 4 girls. So she owns 25% of the house, and she lives in the house. And I applied for her to disaster assistance after the hurricanes. Nothing ever happened. We had a couple of trees down. We had damage on the roof. I fixed that, and the doors are huge. They're not for me to fix. I'm not and I checked, and it's very costly to fix it. It's about ordinance, city ordinance, I think it was. That's what it was. And so they called again and said, oh, well, the doors are right there. We wake up in the morning looking at those doors. Somebody needs to do something about that. I mean, they harass her. They offered her 1/3 of what the house is worth. It's not the house, really. It's an old trailer. It's the property, because it's on the water. And it's a big piece of property. So it's on the water, and they want it because her dad used to own it. And they retired from California and come over here with a bunch of money thinking they were going to buy the whole entire neighborhood. Yeah, there's like maybe 10 houses on each side. And they're all ragged old places. The place has been there for 100 years or so. So they thought they were going to come down and offer everybody $10,000 or $20,000 and buy the whole entire place. Yeah. And invest it. But, of course, that's not the way that's working out. They succeeded in buying the one house next to them, which is not on the water. They're there and they're there. And so they have their house on the water and that house next door. And it's just been nothing but harassment. Yeah, it's just nothing but harassment. And the poor thing, I think you already can see what's going on. So she just has a hard time dealing with that kind of stuff.
Next door, she keeps on finding this tiny short guy in Summerhill, I guess, but they keep on stealing gifts and that.
If I had money and an attorney, I'll tell you right now, none of this would be happening. None of this would be happening.
She is fake, because when I figured out my dad's plumbing, it's his German mug is the plumbing on my dad's
Code enforcement.
It's his German mug.
I'm 60 something. So it takes me,
Okay. His German mug is my dad's plumb where that trailer's at, right? So it is to a hustle. It's about a 55, probably about a 6-year hustle world. So we had Elvis from Star Trek, and then it was open to Hard Rock. And they started slaying my parents so they can get the limo and go here on the machines and all that. That's what I found out.
Okay. What is your date of birth?
12/1/65.
And where were you born?
Riverside, California.
And when did you move to Florida? Do you remember?
Probably 60s.
Okay.
Maybe 66, around there. Probably around there.
Did you attend high school?
That's just hours and motors. What I did was applied for a grocery, and the house is LP here. This is Elvis Presley birth. So they had me in with M. Rosen. So I guess your LP would be like 1,000,000 stores and different things. And then we had industry here, and I went down for heavy optical for Delta Oil is what they had me in. And then that's all the money that they stole, and I went down for heavy optical for about a month outside of MacDill, and that would be all the Bill Troll salary with Elvis and Star Trek. And
her dad was in the military, and she was born on the base in California. And when they moved over here to Florida, her eyes was crossed, and she went to the MacDill Air Force Base, and they had that fixed for her.
It's the muscles is what it is. It's off the Chrysler Plymouth convertible, which would be Pennsylvania, and then I found out all this information, and then my dad's Georgia birth certificate. They were doing my vision in a lot of states, so they did class on my head and vision and all this. So, not everybody knows that. I think it's just practice and training,
Okay. Have you had any jobs during the course of your life?
sure, I worked for large grocery chains and different things.
She worked for Winn-Dixie for a couple of years.
Well, they had me for Belch Oil, but, how they have the cigarette lighters, and it'd be like Ed and Rosie and me, but then it's not proof of the stub. You think, I found a lot of people's laying on my dad's wallet.
And how we met, we worked on a job together. We were in a sales crew business,
Okay.
and that's how I met. She was a great sales girl.
Well, they got all that.
She was a top,
stuff.
one
They
of the
got
top
all that.
producers.
They were trying to get all that money.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal how they
For
were.
years, she did it for a good 15 years.
They were trying to pull on us too much. My sisters are, I believe it's
Well, in the last, it's probably been over 10 years now.
Helen and Coleman.
No
I
job
believe,
whatsoever. Yeah. Can't. I mean, would you? Do you have a place for her to work?
Large trucks and all that.
And
See,
so
they
are
had
both
me
of your
for.
parents deceased?
Do what?
Are both your parents deceased?
Well, they are now.
About 3 years ago.
Because
They went
these-
one after
Well,
another.
these people approached my sister.
He was 90 and she was 88. She went first and she was 88, and then a few months later he passed
I
away.
think a sense from us at
Actually, a week
Garage
after his birthday, in the VA hospital,
Mhm.
Okay.
after his 90th. Yeah.
Yes,
Have
the
you been
garage
married?
one. And we had a brown bag back there, which I didn't really know certain things, but sure seen it up the money back then.
Okay. Have you been married before?
Yeah, I just
Right here.
Yeah.
So just one time?
yeah
And do you have any children?
no. But
And you have 3 sisters?
mhm.
Okay.
That's the downfall. It would be the garage money and all that. But he just, my dad couldn't believe it. Said my own daughters did me like that with Trump and Oprah and DeVita and all them. He was fine.
And do you have any medical issues, like asthma, high blood pressure, diabetes?
Yeah, but I might go into different law or something. I might go into some law and sales pitch a large fracture. And I don't want to sue Walmart or the drugstores or Harbor, but I might have to.
I'd like to get her teeth fixed,
But they time in.
and I can do it on payments with my
No,
dental school,
I'm not
but
worried about
she
my
doesn't
teeth
want to
right
go
now.
in. I can't get her in.
I'm not worried about my teeth right now, but
I got mine
done.
done.
Tool, right?
I'm sorry?
They have a drugstore tool, right? And my sister, well, they put my sisters on us, and Janet wants some EDCs. And that's what my third sister is. She's a shrimp on everybody's teeth for our colonies, and I don't get it. Anyway, I might have to go into law eventually here because I've been taking a radio death toll. What my pitch would be is a large fracture. That's what I would sales pitch. If I went into one loss and they said they couldn't, so I just wait.
Okay. Do you take any medicine?
No.
Okay. Have you ever taken any medicine?
Maybe some, just the regular things.
She used to like Tylenol when she got headaches on her monthly.
Maybe some
Okay.
strep throat.
Okay.
I didn't take some of that. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I was knocked out for heavy vision, and then in Virginia, they did knock me out pretty heavy for.
So what surgeries have you had? You had eye surgery?
Right.
And then anything, have you had any other surgery?
Fracture, ankle, that would be that. So, and then they're about health and recovery. We moved some decent money in both areas here.
And have you had any significant head traumas, like any car accidents or?
Well, the car accident was bad. We were driving together, so it was bad. Yeah,
It was a car accident?
yeah.
Okay.
That's where she got the fracture.
Okay,
Yeah.
the ankle?
Yes.
Okay, when was the car accident?
Oh, that was back
Probably 30
in
years ago.
80, 86, 87,
Okay.
late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you in the hospital?
Yeah, she was in the hospital, so was I. Yeah.
Virginia, I guess they know what they're doing.
That was in Virginia.
Meds. They wanted me released within.
Hers was worse than mine. I had cuts in my forehead and I broke my left ankle, and she got her head banged up really bad, and she had her foot. They had to reset it in 3 places,
Yeah, they
like
released
the
me
ankle
with all that
and the
within
foot,
2
and
days.
it was like bad for her.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health, like depression, anxiety?
No, not really, but they are trying that.
Well, remember your gynecologist in Greenville, and he gave you those pills that you didn't want to take?
I did take.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
never
have
took
none of
them.
that. No, I
I
did
forgot
not.
what kind of, I think it was some kind of common thing at the time.
Okay.
That was back in 98, 99.
I didn't take.
Remember your
none.
gynecologist prescribed those pills and you said they were depression pills or something and you didn't want to take them?
No.
She doesn't like medicine.
No, I did not.
No.
That's more like.
You don't remember that?
No, okay.
No, I didn't. Maybe I had where they wasted my breast. And
She never took them
I went
anyway.
into Brody's and they gave me some drying medicine. They gave me some of that to dry the breast out a little. But other than that, no, I never took nothing else.
We lived in North Carolina 15 years. We bought a place up there, and
I never took no.
she used to be
brush
every
my-
year at
That's
her
the Janet
gynecologist for,
now.
Okay.
her whatever yearly
I don't
thing.
think
Yeah.
so.
And
People don't do.
I think it was 98 or 99. That's when he detected something was not.
No, they put too
Yeah.
many damn machines in my dad's trailer, and they lied with all these.
And he
Madonna
prescribed her
and
some
Rose
pills. I
and Miss
cannot
Roberts
remember those,
and
but
crap.
they're common in your
'Cause
profession.
I didn't really go into
And she never took the one. I tried, and I paid $100 for them. They were like 100 pills for $100. Yeah,
Pharma.
yeah, I know, right?
so.
And she wouldn't take the first one. I was like, oh, come on,
I
the guy.
Lincoln and all
You don't
them
remember
up
that
there on me, and Benjamin. We was gonna do a J.C. Penney thing
Okay.
to Myrtle
All right.
Beach, and they all lied. They said
Yeah.
Nancy and Janet and Coleman trying to ruin all this interview
But I
stuff.
think her gynecologist might have
They
detected
lied.
something then at the time, and from there, things started to get
Hmm.
weird a little bit,
Okay.
and then
It's about these
yeah.
box of T-shirts and money or something. And Evie got them or something. They keep on stealing Ariel with something. They're not supposed to put somebody's smell Ariel. That's what they've been doing with my dad's address. But it seems like wherever I go, I might would have some guess or something. But I don't know. But they've been stealing a lot in this state
Mm-hmm.
with the Grease and Dan DeVito. I found out. And Elvis is. He's been trying to get some money or something here, a little not right neither, because I have to put one of my parents in a big house, so when they come down to see us from Maryland or Minnesota, we'd have a nice big house for them or something. I found
Minnesota is where the Amises are from, by the
well,
way.
I found out things in this state that
That's Pat's dad. He's from Minnesota originally. Yeah.
Do you know what day it is today?
What are you looking at me for?
Well,
She's
what is
asking
it?
you another question.
Yeah.
2023.
Okay, yeah.
That,
Do you know what month?
What's today?
what is it? I didn't really look at my phone or something here. I didn't bring it with me.
How about, do you know what month we're in?
February, I think.
Okay. And do you know what day of the week it is?
Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who the president is?
That's our decision right there. Let's see.
Or any president?
Well, Benjamin Lincoln. No, that's our decision.
He's on the money, right?
Our decision right
You know that one.
I guess that would be like your favorite, but not really. We just put Lincoln down.
Okay. Can Can you count by fives for me? To 30? Like 5, 10?
No, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Okay. Can you repeat these numbers for me? 147,
147,
2169.
2169.
Do you have any trouble with concentrating or focusing?
Not really. I do, I wear my magnifying sometimes, and I might misplace some keys sometimes, but it's, because I have a lot of things on my mind. And the kitties, they'll knock them off sometimes.
Can you tell me how an apple and a banana are similar? How they're alike?
Apple or banana, huh? Well, they're both sweet.
How about a plane and a train?
Okay. Would be the same as them.
How are they alike? The plane and a train.
Both have motors, I guess. You say that.
Any trouble with your memory?
Maybe sometimes a little, but other than that, not really. You know, if I really want to remember something, I will. You know, but other than that, I went through things in my life, you know, maybe it's between my parents and all this different things, you know, my brother and all that.
Do you experience any type of depression, sadness, tearfulness?
Maybe when I was little, when we lost him.
You can't stop talking about your dad.
Well, it's because I had him in my life.
And you cry all the time about your dad.
No, I did not. Maybe, you know, I don't believe what happened. The VA's stupid in there anyway. They're trying to kill people so they can get in Hard Rock over there, I found out. And then he told me he wanted out in general, right? With Nate and Angie and Albert, just any old little bum or something, is trying to direct the ambulance over there to the VA. And I just thought it was mean and inhumane or something, you know, because he's allowed to have his wallet, you know, all the things that him and Rosie went through. And I was really in there for him, you know, because I don't want him to I didn't want him to lose everything, you know, because they already been through a lot, you know.
How about anxiety? Do you experience any anxiety, nervousness? Do you worry a lot?
No, but I have been thinking about this large fracture, you know. I don't want to see the drugstore, so Hard Rock or Walmart, but I might have to, I don't know. They don't get the radio often. I guess they thought they'd give me a helmet check or something, I don't know. But that was down as all kinds of Sarah, really, but we're not getting half of it, you know.
Do you ever hear anything that's not really there, like whispers or voices?
Not really, just transportation, you know, going on. So.
Okay. How about, do you ever see anything that's not there? Like shadows, things moving, things on the wall?
No.
Okay. Any thoughts of wanting to hurt yourself or kill yourself?
No.
Well, she loves life. She wants to live as long
Yeah.
as possible. She's
Well, I've been finding out more
life
about
is
my
not
parents,
supposed to end,
you know.
according to her.
That's enough, you know.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to be like a Whiskers movie cover or something, you know, and that's my parents supposed to be my world movie couple. So what they're doing is trying to kill a lot of businesses and act like it's the other ones, but maybe the right ones don't get them. They're already trying to kill a lot of business and LTV.
We lost one of our nieces, and we lost her mother and her father and brother-in-law all in the last 15 years. Yeah, and she can't believe that people can die. She does have a really tough time dealing with that.
Well, I didn't know my sister's had a lot of, I didn't know with her, and she's got anger in her, and it's not my parents' fault. You know, we had more enough money, and if
would sue him.
Then I had is about recovery, you know.
She talks a lot about suing everybody on the planet.
Well, they don't want to let go now, I might have to. You know, it's drugstore tool and all that. See, Hair Color Girls made a mistake. They sent letters across the state, and we were supposed to get those letters, and they've been holding nail on me. They've been holding nail on me and my dad and my mom, I found out. And that was for a drugstore entry. And the Hair Color Girls said they really wanted me, you know. And they were holding these letters, and so I didn't know. So they had me for, you know, meeting this drugstore entry. And then Ossett would come out that they wanted my dad to have more money, you know, pay raise, because they thought they were taking out too much out of his wallet, you know.
I don't want to interrupt, but I parked on the side. Is that okay, side of the building?
Yes.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know, and I should have asked you right when I came in. Really, I meant to ask you that, but I forgot. So, yeah.
I wouldn't if they gave me my parents, but if I don't believe in funeral tales, and you know, and I think it is out there a little bit. That Coleman and all them, I believe it's. I wouldn't do that to a couple, you know. They can have their money and their freedom, you know.
Yeah.
But I have heard about, you know, the funeral terrorists and all this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're the ones that should get something, or, you know, get them off the maze or something. We don't need people like that, you know.
When her dad was alive, her sister used to come from Ocala once a month. She took care of her dad's checking account, and she would buy him the groceries and pay his water bill and electric bill, and she would take some money, and they used to go to Hard Rock all the time.
Okay.
That's where the Hard Rock.
Yeah, my dad.
And she's kind of hooked on it. She likes it, and she's got money to play. That's her problem, but she got her liking that Hard Rock, and she thinks that's a source of income, because she did win there several times. Not big money, you know, a few $1,000s, you know, but she's, you know how gamblers are when they win. Oh, I won, I got it, you know. So it makes her think that's where all the money comes from, you know. It's from there, so.
But they did. They told the oldest one on them to bring my dad back triple, because that's really, you know, his return statement money. And then, you know, we had a house on Dale Mabry, you know, was we didn't take all their money, and then what, my parents will lose everything. You know, that's what Hard Rock told them to do, you know.
Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, unless you take a large fracture case, I don't know, I might, but.
Don't do those.
Okay, you'd be game for suing, let's see, Walmart and Hard Rock and some of the drugstores. See, I was accepted in Walgreens, and I believe this, they've been using the hell out of us with something this way. My dad was a world driver, and I believe they use this book here for Walgreens.
Okay.
See, this is, my friends carrying the Stern book around for 60 years, and they were using this. They use this for Walgreens. Okay. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was accepted, but then they held the drugstore letters on me, so I didn't know. So they act like they give me a state's lawsuit or something. But I'm just waiting, because I don't want to really, you know, sue Walmart or, you know, the drugstores or Hard Rock. I don't want to do that, but if I have to, I might have to. So you don't take cases like that?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, because it's about my dental too, and they let my sisters in on me. And the third one, I don't know why she has a problem with me, but I think it's Coleman and all of them or something. They're all sick about this German Ellis pearl necklace thing, and that, like they had Samantha and Kimberly to date them. And I think the problem was the whole time there was Dan DeVito and Taxi and all them. They act like they're hormone, you know, little can of black hair, and they were after my mom's name. And I don't want that son's movies, but the problem was, they thought I was supposed to be one of those. Yeah. But then he does have other commitments, and all ship all these things. See, my dad is what we call an illness looking. It's not what about female anatomy. He was attracted to my dad and so delivered. But he was supposed to be in the drugstore, but I see they were holding on to all these letters, for safety for our teeth. Some of the girls in the drugstores, they didn't have their teeth,
Right.
They can more or less get you back or something, But I went down for dental again because who put my sisters on the maze, and I don't believe they should be allowed to use that drugstore tool. It's like a mold tool or something, because they use it on my dad's leg. I'm not trying.
Yeah.
And it's Angelus and who's with Janet, all these junkies or something. And that was a foot long and an inch thick, black skin. So I believe that's a mold tool again or something they've been using. My dad didn't do that wrong in him, they were fine and, kind of shame. They're a good looking young little movie couple.
Yeah.
That's what we have with them, Rosie. But maybe that's why people are jealous of people's wallets and your teeth and,
Right.
I believe that's, tax and all them. They were jealous of my parents a long time ago in this state.
Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any questions for me?
What's next?
So I just do my evaluation and then I, give it to the attorney and then from there I don't know.
Okay.
I just do the
Yeah, and some of these people you can't milk, they've been milking us, Terry and all them, I found out. We left a weed eater in the garage and he couldn't buy them.
We've been dragged in court like I have to work. I'm the only one that works
Right, and I
for
don't
two.
know
And
why
we keep getting dragged. The last time when we went over there, we walk in and the attorney walks up and she says, "Hello, you guys don't have to be here." I said, "Well, why did you call us? I have to work. I have a job." And obviously,
Right.
I have to deal with the law, and they have no understanding in that whatsoever. This is like 4 times in there.
They just give me the order and then I just make contact.
Right.
But I might have to.
And the whole thing, like I said, just the whole thing is really, I wish I had money, I tell you. Ooh, boy. Ooh. People will, but that's, I guess that's the way things are, I mean,
Some of these stores are looking